Do you guys know grip strength is like a huge sign of how young you are? That was really good. I was shaking. So just finished my Discover Strength workout. These are 30 minutes in length and they're the most efficient, effective things I do. Whatever you want to put together for me.
There we go.
Some kind of torture. So I do 2 of these each week. So I went through a whole full body workout. So we started with some upper body stuff, moved to some legs, did some more upper body, did some more legs, and then I finished with some abs and back. It's all about quality over quantity, and I say this all the time. These workouts are so effective because you're going really, really hard, and I do 1 set of everything to failure. So you're not going back and doing a 2nd set, 3rd set, 4th set, etc. It's 1 set to failure, so you're cashed at the end of the workout. And so now my priority is getting some protein in my body. I'm doing this carnivore experiment for the rest of December, and so we gotta go buy some meat. Just got done with the workout and we got to Whole Foods. It's freezing outside, so I want to go inside. But I'm doing this 30-day carnivore experiment still. And so I'm going to show you what I look for. By the way, grocery shopping is way easier when you only eat meat. So let's go inside. Frickin' frack, frickin' frack. Okay, so super easy thing on carnivore is smoked salmon. And the reason I say that is because you don't have to cook it. So you can grab this on the go. This is an easy thing to take. This is the one I like. And you see how it just says peel here? This is all ready to eat. All cooked, smoked. It does have skin on the back of it, but my favorite part about it is the macros. So if you eat this whole piece of salmon, that's 2 servings, and it's 14 grams of fat with 30 grams of protein. So it's just enough protein for muscle protein synthesis, which is awesome. So this is an easy carnivore meal. Another thing I get is shrimp, because I love shrimp. So this one is uncooked with the tail off, so I just boil that. Super easy, and you can dip it in a bunch of butter. All you have to do is thaw that, because it doesn't have the tail on and it doesn't have the shell on. And so again, you can just melt a bunch of butter over it. And this one you would cook, and this one you wouldn't cook. Super easy carnivore meal also, to get some fish instead of always having meat. Okay, so this is my favorite section when it comes to carnivore because I love, love, love red meat. So ruminant animals, venison, beef, bison, and lamb are great and easy to digest. So I'm typically going for something that's gonna be organic ground beef that's grass-fed. So this one is a 93.7, that's a little too lean on carnivore because I'm trying to get some more fat. So I would normally go for this one, which is an 85.15. And then I also have bought some of this ground lamb before, the Nature's Rancher. So we'll get some lamb, we'll get some bison, because bison is a 90-10, but this way you have a really good variety. And then another thing that I sometimes will grab just for extra flavor is I'll grab some either mild Italian pork sausage or chorizo pork sausage, and I can mix that with chicken or turkey or even the red meat just because it gives some extra flavor. So pork is great to add on carnivore, and it's another way to get another fun meal so you can change up the flavors. So the other thing I made sure I did on carnivore is I don't forget about the chicken and turkey. Some people say those are a lesser quality meat and that you really want to eat more red meat, but I like variety. So I've been doing chicken, turkey, and I'll add different fats to it. I've added beef tallow, I've added ghee, I've added butter. So I'll even add some chicken skin, but I've got the ground chicken, I've gotten chicken thighs because those have a little bit of a fattier profile, and those are organic. And then also some of the ground turkey breast, just as a way to change it up. Here's some dark meat, here's some light meat, but these are another great option for if you're going to change it up on carnivore, where you can do a mix of all sorts of different meats. And I'll mix these even. I'll cook some red meat and cook some chicken with it and mix those together just so it gets a different flavor profile. My absolute favorite bacon is this one, which is Nature's Rancher Applewood Smoked Uncured Bacon. The reason I love this bacon is not only is it no nitrates or nitrates added at all, but it's uncured and it's gluten-free, no lactose, they have no antibiotics, no growth stimulants, as I was vegetarian fed. But most importantly, this is the lowest calorie bacon you can get per slice, so I have all my clients on this. It's only 35 calories for a slice. Some of the bacons on here have like 100 calories a slice. So this, if you want to be able to eat more bacon, I recommend this one for sure. So another thing I've been doing on carnivore, which I really love, is to go after these force of nature meats. So they have an ancestral blend, meaning they take ground beef and they already add the kidney, the heart, and the liver to the meat. And so it's a great way if you don't want to cook with those organ meats at home. Organ meats are so fantastic on the carnivore diet because they give you a lot of the nutrients that you need. So I'll show you what the package looks like. It's actually on sale right now, so we're gonna get that because with a Prime member discount, it's less than $10. So it's regeneratively sourced grass-fed beef ancestral blend. And as you can see, it's ground beef, beef liver, and beef heart. So it adds the liver and the heart to it, and they keep it frozen here at Whole Foods because this stuff doesn't always sell as well, even though this is some of the highest quality stuff in the store. Oh, and look at the sell-by date, 11/11. I think that means we're supposed to buy it. Love it. So I'm looking at a menu. So this is easy because there's so many choices for Carnivore because they have all these burgers. So anytime you're on doing Carnivore, you can order the burger, no bun, no fries, no sides, no nothing. So I'm just looking at, do I want bacon on it? Do I want cheese on it? I saw they have one with an egg on here. So eggs are really good on Carnivore. Some people do a strict Carnivore where it's just beef, butter, bacon, and eggs. That's it. 4 things. That's all you eat. Beef, butter, bacon, and eggs. So I definitely could have an egg if I wanted to. I also could get the tuna. But I'm basically looking at the burgers, and then I'm skipping everything in the sandwiches because it's just bread. So I'm just sticking with something in a burger. Ultimate burger, I could get that, no red cow sauce. 60/40, I could get that. I probably shouldn't have the candied bacon or the mustard, but I could get that. The Barcelona I thought about because it's the beef and manchego cheese and then prosciutto, and then I would just say no pepper, no aioli. And then the breakfast burger I actually was looking at, and if I just said no peanut butter, and of course no bread. Under no circumstances, like no, will I ever eat an Impossible Burger because it's fake meat. So that's a hard pass, like hard pass. And I don't know why they even have that on the menu because it's not good for you. Processed food, and it has a bunch of nasty ingredients in it. So that's a no. I'm gonna do the breakfast burger.
Absolutely.
But no peanut butter.
Yeah.
And no bun. No bread, no nothing, no sides.
Yeah.
So I just want the meat, the cheddar, the bacon, and the egg. Perfect, it looks perfect. So we're gonna get rid of the coleslaw. Looks amazing. Awesome, thank you so much. Perfect, so good. We'll get the chippies. Will you get the chippies? Will you get them? Will you get them for me? But this huge tree up in the front yard, I mean, like you'll have 4 or 5 squirrels on there at a time, and these guys will just go crazy. Okay, girls. Okay, guys. Okay, sit down. So these are their beef and liver sliders from Carnivore Dog. And so they really like these treats because it's just, all it is grass-fed beef liver, purified water, and Redmond real salt. I know you like them. Good girl. Good girls. So this is an AquaTrue. This is a reverse osmosis water filter. I recommend this to all of my clients. AquaTrue is a really good one. And then the other one that's not reverse osmosis, but it's another good water filtration system, is called a Berkey. So those are kind of the top 2. But when you drink RO water, so reverse osmosis, you want to remineralize it when you drink it. So it's why I use Redmond's Real Salt and Redmond's Relight in pretty much all of the water I drink, along with some other mineral drops, just to make sure I'm getting all my minerals in. So I'm going to heat this water up. Probably a little more than we need. Okay, but while I'm waiting for that to heat up, what I'm gonna do is I have this Ninja blender. So this goes on top, and then that goes on the Ninja. So I'm gonna actually put the ingredients for the coffee in here. Now normally, I would say never, ever, ever put hot things in plastic, but it's literally only in there for about 15, 20 seconds while I blend it, and then I pour it immediately into the stainless steel coffee mug instead of plastic, because you don't want to drink hot stuff out of plastic because the chemicals in plastic leach. When you have a food scale, you can put your container on the food scale and then set it to 0. So now all we're going to do is put in the ingredients one by one in the food scale. So the first thing is this Equip Prime Protein. This is my favorite grass-fed beef isolate. And of course, because it's grass-fed beef isolate, I can have it on Carnivore. So I do a little more than a scoop, and it's simply because I'm looking for a certain gram of protein in there. So I want a total of 36 grams. Okay. So 36 grams of that protein, and then I use this Ancient Nutrition bone broth collagen, simply because I like the chocolate flavor of the bone broth, and I like mixing collagen protein with a grass-fed beef isolate or a whey for people who can have whey. And so for this, I only use a half a scoop, because I don't need that much protein, and I only want to use a half a scoop, and this is more for the flavor. So a half a scoop happens to be exactly 14 grams. So I just measure out 14 grams. There we go. Okay. So this, and I had to buy another one. This is the most amazing thing you will ever consume. It is Ancient Organics ghee. So all organic ghee is clarified butter. So for most people with a dairy sensitivity, they can still have this. But this is, no joke, this is $20 at Whole Foods. So I usually wait for it to be on a prime discount, and then it can be knocked down as much as almost like 15 bucks, but it's worth it. When you open this, it smells like a Werther's candy. It's like a caramel. It smells like a caramel. Smell it. It's like caramel.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Right?
Smell good.
Right?
Wow.
It's like butterscotch.
I would not expect that to smell like that.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
So good. So what I want for this is I want 30 grams, because that's 2 tablespoons. So, you know, like I say all the time to clients, you can take the tablespoon out of your drawer, put this in a tablespoon, measure it out, flatten it out, or you can just know that a tablespoon is the same thing as 15 grams. Then you can just do it in there. And I'm getting to the end of this. This is going to be hard to get out, but we're going to do it. So this is because when I make this, I'm making a fattier coffee, but it has protein in it too. I've been working really hard during Carnivore to increase my fat a little bit because I'm literally consuming virtually 0 carbohydrates. And so we have 2 primary sources of fuel for our body, carbohydrates or fat. So if you decrease your carbs to 0 and you don't increase your fat enough, you're going to feel like garbage because you really need to have a source of fuel. Protein is a recovery macro. We're close enough because I can't get to 30 without opening the new jar. And so I'm just we're gonna hang right there. Let's see if this will get us over the edge. Yay, did it. Okay, so now the last thing I'm gonna add is 15 grams or milliliters of this particular MCT oil. And I'm adding MCT oil because it's another good source of healthy fat. It doesn't have flavor. Technically, you would say MCT oil is not carnivore, but again, I'm looking for additional fat sources so that I'm not eating too much protein to the detriment of fat. The other thing about if you over consume protein, which your body can tend to do on carnivore if you don't keep your fat high enough, is what'll happen is your body can go through a process of what's called gluconeogenesis. Glucose, sugar, neo, new, genesis, create. The creation of new glucose. So your body takes the protein that you overconsume. It actually can do this with fat too, if you're eating way too many calories, and it can convert the protein and the fat it doesn't use that way and turn them into glucose. Now that's a demand-driven process, so your body will only do it if it really needs it, if it for some reason needs glucose for your brain. But if you keep your fat high enough, you'll start to produce ketones, and your brain will use those instead because it really likes those. And so you want to make sure you're eating enough fat when you go carnivore. So then what I'm going to do is as soon as this water heats up, I have all of my ingredients in here, and I'm just going to add that hot water to this container. And here in this Ninja, it says max liquid. So I've learned the hard way, do not put more water than it says max liquid because you can't take it. I also, because I really like the flavor of coffee, even though I'm not drinking it, I do add a couple tablespoons, or I should say teaspoons rather, of this organic decaf coffee. Those as well, just because I like the flavor. And I did notice when I was at my parents' over Christmas, they have a glass blender, so I might get one of those, just so I never have to use plastic, because if you put the hot in glass, it's obviously not a problem. Now the key to this drink is that you do organic cinnamon. I always recommend Ceylon cinnamon over the other one because the other cinnamons can be a little tough on your liver. Just kind of a random fun fact about cinnamon. And then the kicker is Redmond's real salt. So you put salt on top of it too. And that's the drink. You've got about 40 grams of protein in this nice hot coffee drink and some really good healthy fat. Who wants to be my taste tester? It's real, oh my God, it's so good. It's so good. So you could do this for your first morning meal and you get a really good amount of high quality protein, high quality fat, and this will keep you going for hours and hours and hours for the day. So the calories on it with all of this is about between 550 and 600. So it's like a full meal. Oh, wow. But it'll take you for several hours throughout the day. Mm-hmm. So now I'm going to show you guys my 3-ingredient carnivore dessert. That's my favorite. I have it all the time on Carnivore because all you need is water, beef gelatin, and Ultima electrolytes. One of the things that's really important to consume on carnivore are electrolytes, because think about it. If you're just eating meat, fish, you're eating nothing that has any amount of natural salt in it, you have to put a lot more salt in your body or your sodium electrolyte balance is off. So the great way to get electrolytes in, Ultima doesn't have a ton of salt in it, but it does have sodium, magnesium, potassium, and calcium. And so it's a great way to have a flavored dessert that is literally all protein. That's all that's in it. So beef gelatin, this is one brand that I found at a local co-op here called Lake Winds. Vital Proteins also makes a beef gelatin, which you can get online, and there are some other brands. But if you look at the ingredients here, they're simply bovine gelatin. So it's literally just beef gelatin. And as you can see, all that's in it is protein. There's no carbs, there's no fat. And so it's literally just a full protein dessert. So I'm gonna first do, it's basically a 2-to-1 ratio of the gelatin and Ultima to the water. So that means for the first thing, I'm gonna put in 4 cups of water. Okay, now I'm gonna turn that on. And while that's heating up, I'm gonna add, so I had 4 cups of water, and I'm gonna add 8 tablespoons of the beef gelatin. Because I gotta measure out the tablespoons. 8, perfect. And we're gonna get it to just a tiny light boil. So I have either orange or grape. I'm just making sure I have enough of those. I think I do. Yeah. So just like we did 8 tablespoons of the beef gelatin, now it's just 8 scoops of the Ultima. And the reason I have this out here too is because if you don't have the scooper and you have the individual serving packs, you just do 8 of these packs. So either 8 of these or 8 scoops of these, and then that's all you need. And then I'm gonna pour it in a 9x13 pan and let it set in the fridge. So now that that's pretty much all dissolved, now I turn that off and I'm just gonna simply add 8 scoops of the orange. I'm pretty sure I have 8 scoops left, but even if I didn't, I have some other sticks. There we go, 8. Perfect. That's what I mean. This is like such an easy dessert to make. And this is great for kids. This is an excellent way to get more protein in kids' bodies because it's a dessert that literally is made of straight protein. And you could eat that whole 9x13 pan, wherever my pan is, I'm gonna put it in there. You could eat the whole pan and it would be like 300 some calories of straight protein. Now I'm not recommending that, but it would be like 80 grams of protein or more. So just do that till it's dissolved. And then all you do, I'm gonna pour it in here. That's it. Now they'll be ready in a couple hours.